Hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I finally found a little bit of Wi Fi. I am in one of my absolute favorite places in New York City, which is the Poets House located in Battery Park City. And ever since I moved to New York, I've just been in love with Battery Park. It's a little bit towards the financial district, but it is absolutely incredible. So, anyway, welcome to my office for the day. I finally found some good Wi Fi. My name is Brandis Henderson Daniel. I am the CEO and founder of Problems Fashion Row. I started a 21-day challenge on YouTube because my goal is to really inspire people, motivate people. I want to be a public speaker eventually. So, this is where I get my practice. I've been scared to death to do this, but now I'm taking it on. I do not have the best lighting today at all, but I'm hoping that you guys can see me. And if I need to get close to you, I'll get close to you. But I promise to tell you guys one thing about me that you did not know every single day. So I think what I'm going to tell you now is when I moved to New York, I had absolutely no place to live permanently. I had somewhere to live for 2 weeks, and that was it. And after that, I was kind of on my own. I had no idea what I was going to do. Thank goodness it worked out because on my very first day of moving here, I found my apartment. Literally, I got off the plane, went to my temporary place, and went to go look at this apartment and sign the lease like 2 days later. So that story is absolutely unheard of in New York. So I'm really, really excited that it worked out for me. So today, what I want to talk to you guys about, I got a question from Calissa Brooks. And again, Calissa, don't kill me. I need to really find your married name. She just got married recently, so congratulations. And she asked me, what do you do to keep the momentum going? And I kind of translated that into saying, what do you do to stay motivated? What do you do to stay the course? And I had one thing that I was going to tell you, but I just left a friend's office right before I came here, and he's a photographer. He and I have been friends for, I don't know, since 2010 is when we met, and he became my little brother after that. And he has, I mean, you talking about started from the bottom, started from the bottom. I mean, he was a photographer with no camera. He rented his cameras. And I told him about the topic that I was going to discuss today. And we both just kind of laughed about what it takes to really go and keep your momentum. But what I tried to do was I did do a little slide deck for you guys, and I am going to show that to you. And I did not expect that as I was doing this, I would get so emotional about it. So if I get emotional, yeah, oh well, I have to go with it because this is how I feel. So Calissa, here we go. Let me share the screen with you guys so that you can take a look at the deck. All of this is pretty old and so many files on it. It's insane. I have some of the biggest photography files ever on this computer, and it just takes up so much space. All right, so like I said before, her question was, how do you keep the momentum while working towards your dream? And again, a really tough question for me, but I narrowed it down to a few different things. First thing is you have to focus on the process and not the results. What do I mean by that? Like I had to get to a place where I just stopped looking at my views on YouTube because it's, one day you're up, one day you're down. I don't know what my views are going to be on YouTube. So if I get so focused on the results, then I might get discouraged if one day I have 60 views and another day I have 10 views. So what I have to do is focus on my 21 days and what am I going to do? So you have to focus on the process and not on the results. Stay accountable. Accountability is huge. So many times with Harlem's Fashion Row, I would just tell people this is what I was doing when, quite honestly, I had no idea how it was going to happen. Well, I did know because I knew that God was going to provide for me. But in terms of having the money and the resources and everything like that for it, absolutely not. But I put it out there because it then held me accountable to get it done. Even now, when I have like events coming up, I'll go ahead and set the date and I'll put it out there because then it holds me accountable to follow through with it. So you have to do things that will help you stay accountable. Kind of like me putting this out there to you guys that I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every morning and doing a YouTube video every day. Gotta take big leaps of faith. And when I put go into the deep, you gotta go hard. I mean, you have to jump way, way, way out there where there's no safety net, where there's no easy way to get back to shore. You just have to take these huge leaps, and it's not easy. Oh God, it's not easy. But you can do it, and that's what it requires. Gotta be willing to believe no matter what. Um, I had a situation, I've had so many situations where people have said to me, event in particular, I remember I was in the Hamptons at this event, and introducing me to this guy, and she was telling him, what I wanted to do with Harlem's Fashion Row. And he literally looked at me and said, "Yeah, we've all tried to do that. It didn't work then, and it's not going to work now." And went right on back to his conversation. And that was my very first year doing Harlem's Fashion Row. And when I tell you that that could have crushed me because the guy who said it was somebody who I really, really admired in the industry, it could have absolutely crushed me, but I had to keep going. I've had people, when I said I wanted to move to New York, I've had people who and really close people to me say, you've been talking about moving to New York. Like you've been talking about that for years. Like when are you gonna go? And saying it as if I was just kind of talking and I was never gonna do it. So you have to be willing to take all of that to keep your momentum and to keep going because it's not easy. Um, and then the last slide on here that I put was sacrifice, and the reason I put sacrifice is because it's Calissa. This journey requires extraordinary sacrifice. Like if you're gonna take an idea and make it really big, you have to go without sometimes. I will tell you, as much as I love clothes, there were about 3 years that I didn't shop at all, like at all. There was one point at which I was literally walking around the disgusting streets of New York, which I'm tearing up right now, um, with holes in my shoes. So, and nobody knew it but me because I wouldn't tell anyone else. So, when you are on this journey, it's not easy. It's just not easy. My friend who I just went to see a second ago, who now is everybody's talking about him. He actually just shot Solange's wedding. And I just think about the times where he was like, this is just too hard. This is too hard. And I think about the times where he couldn't even afford to buy a camera. So he would then rent cameras until he can get his own camera. Like, in order to make it all the way to the point at which you feel successful, it just requires extraordinary sacrifice. And um, you have to be willing to go so far that if it does not turn out right, you will look like a complete fool. That is how far you have to be willing to go because that's the only way. Like, no guts, no glory. I'm telling you, like, you can't, hold on so tight to safety and also achieve this other big thing. Like, you might not be able to go shopping. You might not be able to take trips. There were so many trips and vacations that I had to opt out of because I just did not have the money to go. It was either Harlem's Fashion Row or vacation. It was either Harlem's Fashion Row or this girl's trip. You have no idea how many things I just said I can't do it, you know? And I had girlfriends who always offered to help me, you know, a lot of times, but I'm telling you, it's just a lot of sacrifice. It's taken me, people see like Harlem's Fashion Row and they see our articles in New York Times and our sponsors and all this stuff. But honestly, it wasn't until the end of this year that I've actually been able to pull my head up. It's been head down 100% my business for 7 years. That's it. And, you know, the first 2 years, I had no sponsorship. The third year, I had to take out money out of my Roth IRA. The fourth year, I wiped one of my savings account clean for my business. And I had a really major sponsor on board, but I still didn't have some of the money. I had to call my uncle. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like snotty as all get out, but I'm not going to edit this out either because I don't want to edit out my imperfections. I really want to be as honest and authentic with you as possible, but it just takes a lot of work. You can't think about the results. You can't think about what somebody else has done or what somebody else has achieved. You got to focus on the process. Like every single day, focus on the process. Every single day, put yourself out there. Every single day, make yourself uncomfortable. Send emails you're afraid to send. Make phone calls you're afraid to make. You know, just go for it. And with all the emotions that I'm feeling, and I think it's because of Raj, because I just left him and hearing like his story of where he is now, the opportunities that he has. And, you know, he and I just kind of reflected on where we started. And I know where he started and to know his process, like it's insane, but it just takes time. However, it is so worth it. Like once you go through all the sacrifice, once you put yourself out there, once you, you know, take whatever crap people give you, because everybody's not going to believe in your dream. Everybody's not going to believe in you. And everybody don't have to believe in you. Like, the only person who got to believe in you is you and God, point blank, period. Nobody else. And he's already given us everything that we needed. He's already provided, but we have to access it. So anyway, I hope that this helped. I hope that it inspired you. And this is quite different from my video yesterday, but I'm just so passionate about this because it's easy to find your passion. To me, it is. It's easy to find it. It's easy to start it. The hardest thing is seeing it all the way through. That's where people miss the boat. That's where most people say, forget this crap. It's too hard. It ain't working. I'm done. So, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I am a living testimony that is absolutely worth it. So thank you guys. Have an incredible Thursday. I have had so many things happen today, which I will share with you guys tomorrow, but I'm telling you, we got like 3.5 weeks left in this year. There's so many things that can happen. Like, make it happen. I'm telling you, the possibilities are limitless. Talk to you later.